And today we're reacting to The Internet is Dragging DaBaby again. Bro, when I saw this bit of silliness on Twitter, bro, or X, I was like, there's just no way he actually did that, bro. What are you doing? Why even put yourself in a position like that when you already living how you living? I don't know, man. Y'all living to what y'all think, bro. Like the video. Let's get into it, bro.
Now, DaBaby is currently on the receiving end of some backlash due to a music video he dropped yesterday. I want to have a little conversation about the backlash and what's actually going on. Now, for all my people who've been tuned into all the uploads, you guys know that yesterday I dropped a video on the young woman in Charlotte, North Carolina, who lost her life in that stabbing. Very horrible situation.
Horrible. Like, bro, the world is so sick, bro. Let me tell y'all what happened to me yesterday, bro. Like, this is just reminding me, like, if I'm supposed, like, I need to be so aware, you know, and this isn't me putting any fault on her for what happened or nothing, but like, we got to be so aware in this world and so like on our P's looking around because there's so many sick weirdos. Like, bro, I'm about to go into the nail shop, bro, and I see this car in front of me and I see a black dude in there staring at me. So, you know, I get out the whip, I'm walking towards the spot, his car's right in front of the spot. So I'm looking at him staring at me, I look at him. I look away to see, you know, just to do the whole, oh, let me see if this guy is looking at me thing. Look back at him. Oh, my battery. Look back at him. But he's still staring at me. I'm like, all right. Well, I got to walk by his car to get into the spot. I walk by it. I hear, you a demon, nigga. I said, what? I ain't even say nothing, but like, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, ain't no way he talking to me, bro. So I just keep walking. I'm walking in the spot, and then I hear, you a demon, man. Go turn real quick. I turned just at that point when he said it again. I had to turn, make sure nobody was getting up out the car, getting a drop on me, and then he wasn't at the car. Then he say something about like I'm finna get cancer or something, and then when I'm walking in, when he said that, I really had to turn. Like I'm halfway through the door looking out. And then I'm going back in, and then he say, you and your daughter gonna get cancer. I ain't got no daughter. One, you and your daughter gonna get cancer. I said, man, I called Bert. I told him about this. He said, man, start praying. He said, pray just real quick and get that off of you. So I was like, man, you might be right. I prayed real quick, put all that. But God wouldn't even allow nothing like that to prosper among me, whatever weird old crackhead shit he had going on. But just that alone, it was like, nah, I need to be prepared for everything, bro. Like, we gotta be really looking around, paying attention. There's so many sweet weirdos out here, bro.
That story honestly shook me to my core, and I just feel so bad about it because it could have all been
too much oddness going on. Hell, this David, like, bro, what's up with niggas doing stuff to women, bro? You niggas is some bitches.
Had the perpetrator been dealt with by the system. Now, DaBaby actually ended up dropping a tribute to that young woman yesterday in a music video that he put out. Now, really quickly, DaBaby is of course a rapper who was very popular a few years ago. I'm sure most people have at least seen his face or name or heard one of his songs. He's actually from Charlotte himself, where this tragedy unfortunately happened. Now, yesterday he hopped on social media and he promoted this music video he dropped called Save Me. The music video, which starts off with showing off the surveillance footage of the death of Irina Zarutska, has been getting a lot of backlash. Some of the social media outrage comments include people saying things like, DaBaby is actually sick and I'm actually gonna have to delete this app, like ninjas really are not well. Or this other one, which was a response to his tweet promoting the song, where someone said DaBaby about to get canceled while already being canceled, which is kind of funny when you think about it, because is DaBaby actually capable of getting canceled when he already got canceled years ago? That's a good question, right? That aside, there's been a huge debate about whether or not this video was appropriate, especially at this time because this tragedy happened so recently. If you see my video from yesterday on the tragedy, you guys already know how I feel about it.
It's just so unnecessary, bro. It was so unnecessary to do this.
I just think it's so terrible that the system failed this young woman so bad. And honestly, something about that story still sits so heavy on my heart. I can't explain it, but I guess it's just the humanity in me, right? Now, I watched the music video that DaBaby dropped, so I want to give you guys my personal opinion on it and a little breakdown. Now, initially, when I seen it from the outside, like the promotion, without watching the video itself, my initial reaction was, really, nigga? Like, really, ninja? Especially considering the fact that how the entire video starts off is with the surveillance footage of the actual situation and not a portrayal of it. I think if you're going to be on some Joyner Lucas type shit, actually do it all the way. I know that Joyner gets a lot of criticism for his videos because people think he's corny and all that, But honestly, you gotta appreciate how much effort he puts into his videos, especially in this day and age when music videos aren't really that impactful or beneficial for an artist's career as, let's say, short form content. Now, when it comes to DaBaby, I think he could have definitely played that differently, considering the fact that first impressions are important. And if you're gonna do a tribute to such a tragic story, the last thing you'd want is for people to misconstrue your intentions by thinking you're trying to clout chase. So that's number one. Also, while we're at number one, I do want to mention that DaBaby actually put the GoFund link for Irina Zarutska at the top of the description.
You can tell DaBaby genuinely thought that this was like the right play, right? You could tell that he saw this and he was like, yeah, you know, this happened in my city. Like, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna put the link in there, and you know what I'm saying? Whatever things he wanted to do, but it just like putting that video, right, instead of just at the end of the video being like, while the song's ended, and you know, this a tribute to RIP XYZ, you feel me? And you know what I'm saying? This boom, bam, bop. Say what he want to say. Like, let's just also put this at the front of the video too. I just don't think it makes sense.
Which is something that I myself didn't do in my video. Like, I didn't even know that there was a GoFundMe available. So at the time of me dropping this video, I'll not only put it at the top of this video's description, but I'll also put it in the video from yesterday. So right there, DaBaby did something positive, which has inspired me to take some action, which is ultimately going to help the family in this time of grief. Number two, let's talk about the concept of the entire music video. So in a nutshell, DaBaby is positioning himself as the hero. Like, he's saying, if I was there, I would have been able to intervene before it happened and Irina would have survived, which is exactly what happens in the video. Right before the criminal,
wow, really? Okay,
stabs her, DaBaby stops him by holding his arm, right? And then,
wow. Alrighty, okay, interesting. This is an interesting concept in video. And the director of this, nobody was like, I don't know, DaBaby, this one doesn't feel like we should do this one. I get what you're doing, like, you a good guy, but this one's, I don't know. This is interesting. So right before she was about to, he grabs, okay, all right.
DaBaby himself, the killer, and Irina end up walking out the train as the authorities are standing right outside. So right there, my interpretation is he's introducing the alternative universe of what could have happened if he was there. Also, I do think it's important to
I'm gonna have to go listen to this song and how it sounds right now.
Note that I don't personally think that DaBaby was making it so much about himself, but I think he made himself serve as a symbol or a representation of the viewer, you or I, being the hero in a situation that can otherwise play out differently, like, let's say, a tragic ending. And then the last shot in the music video is the killer, DaBaby, and the actress who plays Irina all sitting down together, which I don't know what was supposed
Well, yeah, what does that symbolize?
to be the representation of that particular shot, because that's not usually how situations like this end, but that's beside the point, right? Overall, this music video has been getting a very strong negative reaction, and there's two sides to this conversation. I do think there's a tone deaf side to this, because like we stated, I don't think including that beginning was appropriate at all. I was watching the news about this particular tragedy, and the family stated that they didn't want people to actually share the surveillance footage, like the uncut raw murder, which
I would imagine, like, that's horrible. If you watched that, like, and you watched it if you saw that and didn't immediately swipe off or push their phone out your face or somebody showing, bro, I don't understand y'all niggas, bro. I don't get how people sit there and watch people murders. Like,
makes a lot of sense. Obviously, it was horrible what happened, right? So one of the unfortunate things of DaBaby doing something like this is it does bring awareness to the story, and that's good, but it does also attract an audience of people to the tragedy who don't necessarily feel compassion or care enough to do research on it, and perhaps that puts a spotlight on, let's say, the actual footage, which we don't want. But then again, I spoke on it as well, and I showed parts of the surveillance footage when I was reporting on the story.
Yeah, you can't do that one.
And the same thing could be said for me as well, or anyone else covering it, right? I don't want to say that me and DaBaby are different, but
that's one thing, like, with this situation, I saw it, and I kind of just said a prayer and moved forward. Like, damn, that's extremely horrible, but I didn't want to watch no video about. But when I saw that somebody, like, I had to see what was going on, because at one point before I saw, like, the video, I just saw the situation of DaBaby doing that. I was like, somebody must have something on DaBaby the deepest of blackmails to make them say, "Oh yeah, I'm about to hey, you're gonna post a video like this to ruin your career even more." And he was like, "Nah," but they're like, "Nah, we gonna release this if not." But now it just seems like this was a really poor lapse of judgment, an extremely poor lapse of judgment. Not thinking too much.
But I can tell you, since I'm speaking right now, is why I covered the story, and it was because it personally moved me emotionally, right? I got really like shook when I heard about that particular story and when I saw how, she ended up getting killed, right? But when it comes to DaBaby, I don't know if he's spoken about it outside the music, like on any of his social media accounts or whatnot. But maybe that's the point of the music, right? So I do want to say that I understand why he's getting all this pushback. When it comes to things like this, I think there's a way to do it because what he did isn't necessarily wrong. But I think with some more, I don't want to say finesse, but he could have made it connect more had he done it in a little bit of a different way. As an example, and I don't know if he did this, but maybe tease it a little more before speaking about how the death moved you as someone who's a father and someone who comes from North Carolina where it happened. And another aspect of this is DaBaby is someone who, despite being canceled in a lot of different spaces, he actually has a noticeable enough presence, visibility, fame, but most importantly of all, money. So more than just dropping a music video, I think one of the things that could have helped here is getting in touch with the lawmakers and the movers and the shakers on the legal side in the state, right, of North Carolina, and then possibly help create a ripple effect of some type of positive change in the direction of keeping people like DeCarlos Brown, who was the killer, away from the streets so women and children can walk safely in these streets. That would, in my opinion, be the biggest power move he could make. And maybe this is something he's working towards behind the scenes. I have no clue, right? I'm just trying to plant ideas into the universe. And then on the other side, I don't think him doing this was entirely bad, no matter the particular approach. Because I think one of the things, especially in this social media age, that really helps a great cause is awareness. Irina Zarutska's story has gone global, and it makes me happy to see that people are coming together to grieve her. But more awareness ultimately does something important, which is more people find out about what happened. And ultimately, people finding out about her story is good, right? And I'm happy that he's using his voice for something positive. So on one hand, you or I could criticize him for how he did it, like the fact that he's putting himself as a hero, or I should say he's portraying himself as.
But he did speak up and say something about what was going on. You don't see that to happen too often.
It's kind of like the hero. He could have saved the day and whatnot.
He took the extra step. Again, it just needed to be done differently.
In that particular music video that he dropped. But at the same time, is it really a bad message? I don't really think so at all. Because after watching the full music video, my takeaway wasn't anything negative. My takeaway was be more socially aware when you're out in public. Not only for yourself, but for your fellow humans. So if there's a situation where I could prevent a woman or let's say a child from getting hurt at the hands of another evil human being, right, I would want to step up because that's the right thing to do. I do, however, want to add a very important precaution to what I just said, which is just make sure that you personally are safe in the process of trying to stop another person from getting hurt, because as much as we want to be heroes and
what I can appreciate about what he's saying right then is like, yeah, when we all being aware of our surroundings, for everybody around us as well. Like, I see this. I'm not trying to put no blame on other people on the train, but when I see a guy, and I don't know if it's just the natural kind of protector in me, the father in me, you know what I'm saying, the son in me, because if I saw somebody attacking a grandmother or mom, just anything, like the only person that's unfortunate that I have to be honest with, that I'm not gonna, now I don't know if the other people did. The other people jump in. I didn't watch the video. I'm not watching that. But if I'm sitting here, I'm willing to risk my life. I don't know what it is to save, bro. Why is this happening?
World,
hold on. This keeps doing something weird on my OBS. I want to say that I'm willing to risk my life if I see somebody get up and start harming a woman, a grandmother, somebody's mom, definitely a child. I had to watch these words that I'm saying because they messed me up. They spit me that band. Like, those three, I can't sit there and watch that. I can't. I gotta risk it, bro. I gotta take the risk. I genuinely am meaning that. Like, so I don't know. I get what DaBaby's saying though. Him jumping in. How could you not see that and be like, well, nah, I'm gonna take the cuts. I'm gonna take the potential, but I'm not sitting here and watching. Now, that's what I'm saying. Now, the only thing that's kind of messed up, you see how you see it, but if it's a man and a man, depending on how it's looking, I don't know. I'm not feeling as willing to jump right in there and save you though. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know what you did to him. I don't know XYZ, but I just know in no way, shape, or form am I gonna watch a woman or a man or somebody's grandmother or mom get like done like that, bro. Not happening. Not happening. I just can't do it.
Not forget about ourselves, because we all have family to come home to at the end of the day. I think for DaBaby, the biggest thing here is that there was a lack of, I guess, like, I just didn't feel connected to the cause, or I want to say the music video and what he was trying to do here as much as I should have, in my opinion. Because in a time like this, the last thing you'd want is send the signal that you're only doing this to boost yourself up, which is what a lot of people are saying. Now, there's one thing that I'm very confused about as well, which is DaBaby was recently featured on a song called Save Me, so it has the same exact title as this tribute to Irina Zarutska, and that's where things get muddy, because now it could be viewed as, did you title the song Save Me because it goes right along with the concept, or because it has the same exact title as this other song you're featured on, which could perhaps lead to more attention to that song. You get what I'm saying? And I don't know, I'm not really accusing him of doing that, but I'm only sharing the optics, meaning how things look from the outside, because I would assume that DaBaby,
you don't strike me as an evil clout chaser like that to do some of these things.
Was genuinely moved by this tragedy. Again, like we all were, right? I really don't want to sit here and talk about this in a way where I imagine that he did all this just for some clout, because that'd be crazy. I mean, yes, you never know, especially because his track record does come into play, okay? And I'm not one to hold people's past against them in the current moment, obviously, because we all grow and whatnot, but it is fair to consider. My takeaway from the music video was positive overall. From the outside, it does look murky, especially because the beginning has the surveillance footage. But honestly, after watching the music video, I think his heart was in the right place. I really do. What I'm hoping is this. This is my message to DaBaby if he's watching this, which wouldn't be too crazy because not a lot of people are talking about DaBaby right now, so especially like people with platforms of this size, right? What I think would be very good, my brother, okay? Jonathan Kirk, okay? I think what would be good is that perhaps use your visibility to get in touch with the lawmakers in Charlotte, so in North Carolina, so criminals aren't roaming these streets freely when obviously they are not fit to be in society. That, in my opinion, would be the best outcome, because honestly, I don't want to hear stories like this anymore, man. Like, it's happening way too often. It's time we start protecting society.
Yeah, and get that Dave and get two while you at it. That being said, y'all let me know what y'all think. Like the video, so a couple of bitches from your channel. I love y'all, man. I appreciate it. I'm grateful y'all week on ADD.